So one of the key aspects of Barça Innovation Hub is the fact that we want to open our knowledge. And we think that by basically opening our knowledge, we are able to not only serve the internal needs from innovation standpoint of the club, but also help the whole sports industry grow, right? And we do it with three main pillars, which again comes back to what we were discussing before, which is knowledge and innovation. First, we develop research and development projects where we basically invest resources in generating new IP that at some point can end up being a research scientific paper, but at some point, maybe in the long run, can also become new products and services. On the second pillar, we develop innovation projects with the startups where we co-develop products or services that they're already in the market, but we think that we can bring value by basically helping improve those solutions, those services and products in a way that serve better FC Barcelona needs, but also other market needs. And finally, we have a third pillar. This is more focused on knowledge sharing, where we organize different activities in a way that every professional in the world of sports can learn from FC Barcelona how we do things. When we launched Barça Innovation Hub, we thought that we needed to detect which were the best areas to focus on innovation. And we kind of decided, or we frame it in a way that we have basically two final users, right? We have athletes and fans, right? So we were designing 4 areas of knowledge that focused on on athletes. And here we have sports analytics, sports performance, everything that has to do with health and wellness, and also the methodology area with coaches. Apart from that, on the fan side, we thought that we needed to focus precisely in 2. One is everything that has to do with digital, and we call it the fan engagement area. And then another one that has to do with everything that relates to the venue management and venue experience. We call it smart facilities, smart venues. Finally, we have another area which is basically working with our foundation on bringing this innovation or Barça Innovation Hub framework to also work with the foundation on implementing innovation as well. We always like to say, the innovation managers like me, we always like to say that innovation can be 3 types, or broadly 3 types. One is how you configure your business. The other one is how you kind of manage your offerings. And the third one is how you build experience, right? So either 1 or 2 or 3 are the ones, the topics that you can focus on innovation. I would say that sports industry have been focusing many in the last years on how they can enhance the experience of the fans. But still a lot of room to improve, especially because the way people are consuming content is changing. We are seeing the new generations are much shorter contents, much more focusing on stories rather than just traditional ways to consume those content. On the performance side, I would say that we are seeing that the configuration is also restructuring itself. Basically, processes, so data analysis are coming more and more and more, and probably sports like basketball have been at the head of that, but football is already taking a place here, right? Good question. I think that, sports have been around for many years and data analysis was not there. Modern sports, data analysis is coming. I feel like the core of the sports is still there and probably would be there if it was not data analysis. But data analysis should help, it is helping to enhance the experience of the fans, to also help coaches and all this stuff to probably have other insights that can help make better decisions, never subsidizing them, always helping them. And I feel like, especially in the space of football, we are seeing a lot of traction here because traditional ways to put statistical analysis on what was happening in football were too much focused on isolated events of players. Instead, new technologies like computer vision and artificial intelligence are helping to actually gather quantitative analytics, so statistical analytics on more contextualized situations. So it's more about not of the result of that action per se, it's about the process to get to that action. And that was actually what the coaches are looking for and what the experience-based analysis of coaches are always analyzing. Players are humans and humans are diverse, so it's about how you create value to them. At the end of the day, it's how you are bringing value, and that value that can be achieved from data, but it has to do not only on the information that you can gather, but it's also on how you present that information. This is really important, visualization, and try to always be adapted to the needs of that final user, in this case the players, right? So, and here I think that from a club perspective or from an industry perspective, we can learn a lot from them on what they want to consume from getting feedback on their performance, and how we can adapt to that in order to make relevant instruments, relevant tools for them to at the end of the day improve their performance. Barça Innovation Hub is the department that try to understand the club as a living lab, or as a place to develop, again, research projects, to develop innovation projects that at some point can have access to the different facilities of the club, the different knowledge that the staff have, also the different athletes to actually develop those projects, right? So Spy Barça is one more, or the stadium is one more. Of course, having a campus open and being able to develop a lot of potential projects on urban technology, because at the end of the day, this is going to be a kind of a small, I would say, smart city if you want. So you can, many of the things that can be implemented on a wider scale, like cities, can be tested and developed there, right? So I think that in that case, it will help on that concept of being a huge living lab. I would say that innovation it's kind of a mindset. What you have to do is have an open mindset that many different people, many different stakeholders external from you can have a lot of knowledge, can have a lot of expertise that you can benefit from. And if you have this open mindset, probably you will be able to challenge yourselves on how you can improve your daily operations, and at the end of the day, generate new potential opportunities that will benefit what you are doing today. We want to become one of the leading living labs in the Southern Europe, especially the fact that we are a multi-sports club with 5 professional sports and 9 amateur sports, gives us a diversity in terms of, at the end of the day, when you look for improving and developing innovation and research projects, we want to have diversity of potential users, because at the end of the day, you will have a much robust and much holistic solution, right? So the fact that we have a different sports help us to actually test those solutions in different environments. There is 2 ways or 2 potential disruptions that the current revenue streams that the sports clubs have, which are match day operations, the sponsorships, and then the TV rights. We felt that on the TV rights side, on the content side, we have to be aware that it can be a disruption there. And the way how people consume content, and the way how it's produced, this content, and the way how this content is distributed is changing. And here I think that there is a lot of room to change in the next years, and we as a club and as a sports manager, the sports innovators, should be really aware of that. Another topic is that we also agreed on the class is the relationship between clubs and sports entities and brands and sponsors, right? We are seeing more and more that the brand awareness approach is challenged. So it's not as it was some years ago. So brands want to have a more innovative partnership approach, where they can leverage from a business standpoint, not only from a brand standpoint, their relationship with the clubs. And here, when I say the clubs, I mean the clubs and all its assets and all its facilities that they have, and at the end of the day, can they be put in place to develop these partnerships.